Today we're in Hollywood, California, where some of the world's greatest movies are made. And today we also have a chance to visit some of Hollywood's greatest movie monster makers. Whoa! Whoa! Hey! Oh! It's Gabe Bartalos, everyone. Hey, Tony. How's it going? Okay. Well, we're going to be all right. Gabe is famous for doing the Leprechaun series, Basket Case, and a whole lot of other things. How you doing, Gabe? Good to see you.
Glad you can make it.
Thanks for letting us come over.
The wolf scare you?
Yeah. What did you make that for?
This big guy was made for an HBO promotional spot.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, while you're here, I want to give you a tour of the whole studio, show you some other goodies, and show you an aspect of monster makeup effects that I love to celebrate, the sculpture.
All right.
Come on.
Sounds good.
Over here, Tony, we have a head from an upcoming film, Leprechaun 4, of an actor whose head is evacuated, and I've sculpted the look of a metal plate that's going to go into his head.
Wow.
What we do at this stage is we're going to mold it, and then we're going to fabricate it in flexible urethane. Here, what I've done is I've gone in with all the finishing touches to open up the eyes, and I went in with a torch and burnt the skin, actually, to give it that crispy look. So, and over here, we've got a mummy, fresh off the set of a film called Five Little Witches, put together over real bone with latex and fibery material, and gives a bunch of kids a scare when they open up a cavern that they shouldn't be crawling around in. Kind of rotted flesh like that. Come on upstairs, I'll show you some more stuff.
All right.
Right this way.
Okay.
Tony, let me take you on a brief detour into my office here before we go upstairs.
Sounds good.
What I like to do is when a project's over with, take some of the finished pieces that I'm proud of and put them up around me just to keep me company and stuff. Here we've got the apparition of the Pressman from Pool of Darkness. This is a Two-Face character I did as a personal project. This is Mouse Man from the Basket Case series. Whoa, he's still alive and kicking.
Yeah.
Over here we've got Horse Boy from the Harm Farm series. Down here we've got video performance artist Matthew Barney in the makeup as the Lawton Ram crawling through the Vaseline-filled tunnels. Soon to be put up. So it's nice, you know, to keep the stuff around, and it gives something to show people to give an idea of the kind of work the studio does.
Yeah, it seems like some of them don't want to go to sleep.
Yeah, I keep trying to put Mousy to rest, but he's alive and kicking. Isn't that right there, hairy man? Yes.
He's winking at us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Keeps the office guarded. Let's go check out the upstairs.
All right.
Up here, Tony, is where we do what I like to call the therapeutic part of our business. Sculpture, the painting, the drumming. Tucked in this corner specifically where I do the sculpture work. The sculpture stuff, to me personally, is very exciting because it's where we design the character that we're going to see. I'll do what are called clay sketches that are presented to production, or in this case, this is just a personal project for myself. And in creating something like this, I work from the ground up. Take a wooden frame, and I weld an armature out of steel, which basically becomes the skeleton. Then I'll add and twist wire and add plaster bandage, which becomes its muscles. Then I'll go to a local craft store, buy some clay, and at that point I'll start pushing it on the form to create the skin, if you want to call it that. There I get to fool around and experiment with different skin textures, pores, different levels of detail. So in this case, you can see I've got a little dragon muzzle starting on him. On this side, big tentacles are starting to explode out of his back.
So is this the kind of thing that anyone could try, or do you have to go to school to learn to do this?
Well, what I think is exciting about certain aspects of creature and monster making is the artwork part, the sculpture and the paintings, what you want to make of it. If it's a hobby or something that interests you, like it started with me, it's as simple as going to your local craft store, buying a brick of clay for $3, sitting down and starting to twist it and mold it and trying to get what's in your head into your hands, into the clay.
I see.
And I really enjoy what I do, so it's fun to put in the hours and really massage them into something that's hopefully horrifying or playful or whatever the specific film or project is looking for.
Great. So anyone could try this at home.
Yes,
Good.
and I encourage it.
All right.
Here are some other things that I've done in the past. This is a figurine of a crazy aardvark cricket-eating monster. Next to that is a gay version of a Frankenstein that'd be always fun to do. A vegetable gremlin from Gremlins 2. Next to him, a little freaky half-man, half-fish monster. Here we have a little montage of characters, another fish man in a wheelchair, an ugly thug with a creepy mug, and next to him, a guy who was unfortunate enough to have the top of his head blown off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. The whole process of the makeup effects process is great. Why don't we go on downstairs and see how exciting it is when it comes to life?
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
You lead the way.
Okay. Hey, Tony, check it out. It's a big space monster we built for a film called Dead Space.
Big.
Yeah,
Boy, is it.
big is right, huh? In the film, it starts small, though. It's a parasitical little eel that goes up an astronaut's nose. And as the film goes on, it begins to grow and transform till it breaks out of our back. Till the end of the film, where we see it in its full form like this, moving and controlling itself on set.
How does it move?
Out the back here, we have a bunch of cables, and each one does a specific movement, whether it's arm, head, tongue. And we have a bunch of puppeteers, which are the people that manually bring it to life while we're shooting it. And that's all incorporated with the wind machines and a clear layer of slime we put on it for the overall effect.
So how many people or puppeteers would you say it takes to move a creature like this?
In this case, it took 8 people.
8 people?
Yeah, to give the full effect of something that was living and breathing, even on an alien planet on its own. Take a look over here. This is a dinosaur monster we built for a film called Time Master. In it, a young gentleman flies through time looking for his parents, and he goes through different levels of history. In one time bubble, which is how he travels, he comes across the prehistoric age, and he comes across this creature that he does battle with. When we filmed him, he was shot behind what's called a blue screen, which allows us to shoot something and put in whatever background we want and change the size of stuff. And in this case, this dinosaur monster was shot to be 40 feet tall as the kid battles with him.
So that was really big.
He became really big, yeah. And this way we were able to build it more user-friendly here at the studio, and through the magic of computers and film, make him seem gigantic.
I see. Well, he's a fantastic monster.
Thanks. He was really fun. When we did him, it started the same way as I showed you upstairs, the sculpture. Then we made molds. Into the molds, we injected foam urethane. Foam urethane is kind of what you find in airplane and car seats. And that becomes the skin. At that point, the mechanical and animatronic experts come in and give it movement, which become also usually the puppeteers. And in this case, there's eye movement, and it blinks, and its mouth moves. And then I go in with my paintbrush and my airbrush, and I meticulously color in the scales and the wrinkles and add the veins to him for an overall effect, once he's moving and spritz down, of a creature that's come to life.
Great.
Yeah, it's good
Great
fun.
stuff.
Thanks, thanks. Take a look at this. This is something fresh off the set from Leprechaun Part 4. In it, an actor who gets injected with DNA and spiders transforms into a ghoulish spider monster. Yeah. In this case, the animatronic expert built mechanical parts. This gets glued to the top of the actor's head.
And who's this over here?
This is Seisha. Come on in.
Your assistant?
Yeah, she's been on the last couple projects, and she's a good example of someone who has the puppeteering down very well. This is Tony.
Hi, Tony. Nice to meet you.
Hi, visiting us today. When we go on set, all the puppeteers get different controls, and through the levers, we're able to make the different parts of it move. Underneath is our actor who's adding the reality part of it, while this helps suspend that level of disbelief.
This is fantastic.
Why don't you give it a shot?
All right, sure.
Into the top of the head, I've implanted individual strands of hair and a paint job that's carried onto the face. And while here you can see lights dance around the eyes, and you guys controlling the tentacles, the eyes, and the eye blink.
Wish I could do it as well as you do. This is great.
terrific, huh?
Yep.
It's fun stuff. I'm glad you like it. We have a good time with it.
I think it takes a lot of practice to be able to get it just right, huh?
Well, eventually, yeah. But
Yeah.
hopefully the pre-production time where we prep allows us the time to really master it.
I see. Well, I want to tell you that we really appreciate you taking us around and showing us your studios and a lot of your creations.
Sure, it's a pleasure having you.
And I want to thank you for letting us come here, and hopefully we can come back and see you again sometime, or maybe we'll see your work on film.
Anytime.
All right?
All righty.
Okay, so I guess you guys know what we're going to do. We're going to zap.
Tony? Let's go get a bump hop.
Wow. I hope we didn't zap into the wrong continent. No, I think we're okay. These are John Bolich's Optic Nerve Studios.
Where'd you come from?
Hey everybody, this is John Bolich. He's one of Hollywood's greatest monster makers.
Shucks.
And he's agreed to let us look around. So,
I didn't expect you here that quickly.
yeah, it's kind of a quick trip.
You gotta show me you do that sometime.
Well, it's all in the snap of the fingers. That'll just about do it. So, do you think you could show us around this
Yeah,
place?
sure. Come on, let's go.
All right, great. John Bolich has been making movie monsters for quite a long time. These are just some of the creations he has displayed in his studio. Here we have Ben Strange from the movie The Fantastic Four. And from the same movie, his arch rival, Dr. Doom. Then some characters from the television series Babylon 5 that John and his crew have created since the beginning of the show. This is the Cliffside Dweller monster that was made for the movie Tall Tales. Remember the three little pigs? Well, these square pigs were created by John and his crew for the new movie Space Truckers. John and his crew not only create all the monsters for Babylon 5, they also create and apply all the alien makeup the actors wear.
So we take you here into our department. We start off doing the designs. These are some of the books that we use for research. We like to use these like children's books. These are our kind of favorites because we find they have the best photographs and we have some interesting stuff in them.
Wow.
It's pretty, almost an alien in itself.
Yeah, that's great.
Some neat looking turtles. Yeah, we like to draw all our inspiration, even if we're doing alien or fantasy characters, we like to kind of draw from nature because I think you want to pick details and paint schemes and little bits that are kind of realistic and people are already familiar with. That way, if you put that on top of an alien creature, I think it kind of helps the believability of it a little bit. For this current project we're doing, we're turning a woman into a statue for a car commercial. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we brought these, picked up some books on Greek art just to kind of study the look of it. And we just did a little bit of research into like how togas look. You can see here there's like this little distinctive fold here that I didn't even know. I never really paid attention, I guess, to togas that much. It's kind of interesting when you start doing research, all the little things that you pick up that you just kind of take for granted. And these here, you see the same kind of details happening.
Oh, yeah, they're similar.
Yeah, so we kind of found like a certain kind of style that we liked and kind of copied that and incorporated some of the drawings that we did. We came up with it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much where you start the whole thing.
Well, actually, usually we meet with the producer or director, and then they'll tell us their ideas and what they're looking for. And sometimes, in this case, they brought in a few photographs, kind of generally, the ideas that they wanted, and from that we'll do sketches, and then we'll kind of send them the sketches and go back and forth and get approval and start working from that. Let me show you some of the sculptures that we did also.
All right. Great. Okay.
Over here we have some like little sculptures that we were working on. They're called maquettes, and a lot of times we're doing a full-size character, like this we made as a full, like bear-sized kind of beast. These are two different versions of it. Or in this case, this is Lord Zed from the Power Ranger movie, and we made this as a full-size, like 7-foot-tall suit.
Oh, great!
But what we do with the maquettes is we kind of work out some of the designs ahead of time in 3 dimensions, and then we'll use also the maquettes to kind of discuss how the mold should go together. Or it just kind of answers a lot of questions in 3-dimensional form a lot better, I think, than sometimes the drawings do. We have some more sculptures over this way.
All right.
What would you call a monster like this? Looks pretty evil. How about this guy? He's got more heads than he knows what to do with. This is a really interesting face. Look at the personality. Look at this guy. Looks like somebody shut his trap. And this one, it looks like it's half snake or something. These are some great sculptures. Great artwork. They're beautiful.
We have a full-size sculpture here. It's still in progress. It's a little rough because it's only been a few days spent on it. There's no detail or anything like that. That gives you an idea of the process. What we usually do is we start off with the head cast of an actor. We'll bring them in and put this like dental impression material on their face and make a plaster copy of their face. So you get a lot of detail and wrinkles and everything from it.
Yeah, that's great.
It's really detailed. And then what we start doing is we just press clay on here, in the shapes that we want. All kinds of little tools and stuff that we use. They're like little rake tools. Kind of scrape it down and change it. Or one of the big secrets here is we paint like materials like silicone or latex onto oranges, and we can use that to kind of make. It's like a pore texture. Let me smooth this area down and show you. See, this gives you like pore detail.
A new texture.
Yeah. Or you can do like little wrinkles or all kinds of different things.
That's great.
So, and from that, we spend like, it depends time-wise. Sometimes it's a few days, sometimes a week. We'll come up with the sculpture and have it all detailed and finished, and then we go ahead and mold it, which is the next part of the process. That's this way.
This way, yeah. All right.
Walk this way.
Okay. Oh,
Good.
I got it.
Never mind. Over here we have some molds that we made for the, remember the statue I showed you the pictures of?
Yeah.
Okay, these are some of the molds for that. This one here is for her hair, and it's kind of hard to tell what it is because you're looking at the negative of it. What we did is earlier we had a sculpture on her head here of this kind of like, Greek hairdo, And since she's supposed to be like a statue, we didn't want to use her real hair. We wanted to have her, with a sculpted looking hair. So we sculpted that, and then we make this mold in several different parts where we kind of lay up these walls we put little clay walls up, and you paint plaster on one side, you take the clay wall off, you paint plaster on the other side, and you end up with like a 2 or 3 piece mold for something like this. And then what we do is we'll paint, for this piece, we use latex painted into it, and we'll mix up like a urethane foam, which is like a 2-part chemical that you mix up and put together. You slap it all together around the head, and then you end up with like a kind of like a headpiece that'll actually fit onto the actress. You know. For other things, we use different materials. For like this, for instance, this is going to be her face, and this is a material called foam latex. And it's a lot better quality. It's a lot softer, and it's good for facial movements. Yeah. And what we do is you mix it up almost like a cake mix. You have like different components, like you have the rubber, you have a foaming agent, you put it all together into a blender and whip it up, and it whips up almost like shaving cream or something. Then we paint that into the mold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, paint it in the molds, put the mold together, and then stick it in the oven and cook it for 4 or 5 hours.
Cook it?
Yeah, we actually cook it in the oven like a rubber cake or something.
Whoa.
Anyway, let me show you the rest of the, we have her whole body over here.
Okay.
Over here we have the body for that woman.
Uh-huh.
You can see these are those things I was showing you, those kind of folds that we noticed on the...
Oh, yeah, in the book.
Yeah, so you can see where the details kind of pay off, where we kind of use them.
Right.
You know, the thing. And this is that urethane foam I was showing you. You can kind of feel it's not quite as smooth, I think, as the latex is. But, you know, use different materials for different effects. And for this, since it doesn't have to flex or move, she's supposed to be a statue, really didn't need it to be too soft, and it was just an easier way to do it. For this, we use bigger molds, like similar to this one here. It's like all done in fiberglass, and because fiberglass is a lighter weight material, when we do the bigger molds, we like to do them in that. This has been a nice change of pace for us because it's not like a monster like what we usually do or a creature. It's kind of a different, a little bit more classical. And
yeah.
The one thing is we do get a chance to do a lot of variety of stuff. I mean, we've done aliens, we've done animals, monsters. Bats, birds, all kinds of different things.
Bats,
so
birds,
yeah,
too?
there's
Really?
always lots of different.
How did you get started in this?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's been a while. I mean, I think when I was a kid, I always grew up enjoying these kind of movies with effects in them, like
really?
Yeah, like horror films or fantasy films, and I think I was one of those kids that just found myself, bringing a famous monsters magazine to school and kind of hiding it in between my textbooks and kind of learning whatever I could, and then. When I turned 21, I moved here to LA to work on, a Friday the 13th film, the 4th one with Tom Savini, and that was like the first professional job I had, and it just kind of been here ever since. So.
Wow.
It's been fun. I mean, it's kind of, I think it's nice that I get to do something that I've always enjoyed doing. It's kind of a hobby that's turned into a profession. I think you can't hope for anything better than that,
So. When you were in school, did you actually think you were going to be creating these monsters and things like that, or was it just something you just liked?
I think I liked it. I never really, I guess, 15, 16, I don't really think I thought too much about career or where I was going to go with it. I think I found myself after a few years realizing this is really what I know the most about and kind of the only thing I really knew how to do. So it's almost like I had no choice. I think I had to do this as a career. So, yeah, definitely.
Well, it's a great career.
It's fun. It's like everyone always says that you must have a lot of fun on Halloween. I always kind of tell them every day is Halloween for us. So,
Well, yeah, I can see where it's kind of like Halloween, but then you get paid for it too.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's a pretty fun part, isn't it?
Definitely.
All right, so this is about all the time we have.
Oh, okay. Well, it was nice
but I
meeting you.
really appreciate you bringing us around.
Okay, great.
Really
Well, you're welcome
appreciate
back anytime you want.
All right.
Maybe next time we can turn you into a monster.
All right. Okay. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
I'll take you up on it sometime. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna zap out of here, and we're gonna ask you to stay with us because we're be seeing you real quick.
I wish you knew I did that.
Whoa. What? I think I may have messed up on that last zap. Hold on, everyone. Let me see how I can get this off.
Okay, let me give you a hand with that.
Okay.
Let's get these gloves off.
All right. Thanks. Whoa.
Okay, how about the head?
Okay. Mine stays on, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, just the monster. Whoa, you okay?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, well, it's Jeff Farley, everyone. He's the head of Obscure Artifacts. He's another great movie monster maker. So we want you to get a chance to meet him and see what he's all about and what his creations are all about. What did you do this for, Jeff?
This was done for a feature called Hybrid.
Hybrid.
Science fiction. Feature about a group of people trapped underground with a mutant alien creature.
Boy, yeah, this is pretty mutant looking.
Oh, thanks.
That's really, really great. That's great work.
Oh, well, it's kind of a testament of what you can do with low-budget movie monsters these days. It's kind of in the tradition of the old 50s monster movies. So we created sort of,
Are these real teeth? They look real, don't
these
they?
are not real teeth, but they are made out of material that they make teeth out of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people's dentures are made out of this material. It's called dental acrylic,
Oh,
and we do it in a very similar fashion.
they look very real. I don't think anybody wants their dentures exactly like this, but they do look real. That's
Well, thank
really
you
great.
very much. I appreciate it.
I see you've got a whole lot of creations here.
Oh, absolutely. We've got the title character for Carnosaur here. Another 50s style monster movie made for Roger Corman. I did this at another company called Magical Media Industries. They hired me as a sculptor, and I co-designed and sculpted their title character.
That's a beautiful piece.
Oh, thank you very much. Up here we have the original maquette for the character, which is a slightly different, more realistic design, but they opted for the more 50s style.
That's a lot of detail they have on those.
Oh,
That's great.
Thank you very much.
You see the little teeth in there too, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, it really pays to create every detail. From there, we have a series of live casts done for various features.
Oh, how are these made, Jeff?
Well, these are done with alginate. It's just spread over the actor's face. From there, we make a mother mold, take it off the actor's face, and fill it with plaster, and then from there, we get our final product. We usually get the actor in about 30 minutes, but they will usually stick around to see the final product. They get a big thrill out of it.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Yeah, it's a fun process for them.
And then what's this over here?
This is like some characters I did for a Budweiser promotion. These were CG characters, actually maquettes
Oh, really?
that were digitized in the computer and animated by the computer artists.
So is that what CG means?
The computer graphics.
Computer graphics.
Yes.
I see. Great.
Okay, great. Well, I have a few other things out back in the shop if you'd like to see them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, come
great.
on.
Very good. Tony, why don't I go ahead and show you some of the processes that we use to make our creatures.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Well, the first thing to start with is the sculpture. This is a stylized bat creature that I'm doing for a full costume.
Boy, this is really awesome. It looks great.
Oh, thank you very much.
See the detail on this thing? This has got a lot of detail. It's great.
It's a very exacting process, and it really pays to have a good knowledge of anatomy and say the structure of the human body, actually even animal bodies.
Did you have to study that?
It's a good thing to know anatomy, which is something you can learn in your school library. When I was a kid, I would go there and pick up books on anatomy, art in general, making movies, and even makeup itself. Those are things you can find locally, and a lot of the materials you can get locally also from drugstores, and makeup suppliers carry a lot of stuff, especially around Halloween. They carry a lot of materials that generally we use when we're making movies.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
So
Fantastic.
from here, the sculpture, what we do is we go over to the mold. And this is an appliance mold for a zombie. And what we do is we have our positive and negative. We fill them with liquid foam rubber, which we put in the oven and bake, and come out with a soft, flexible foam rubber piece.
That really is soft.
Yeah, this is very similar to a sponge. It's very much the same material, actually. We glued this on the actor's face, like we could show here.
Oh!
And again, it's very lightweight, and we finish it off with paint, and we even use Caro syrup for the blood.
Oh,
And Caro syrup and red food coloring.
now that's not too harmful.
No, it's very safe. You can put it in your mouth, and you can even drink it, and it tastes pretty good.
That's interesting.
This is for the movie The Arrival, starring Charlie Sheen. In it, he saves the world from an alien invasion.
Good guy?
Yeah, well, absolutely. In it, this is, I believe, the alien itself. The costumers made a costume. What they needed was a sculpture, which they would make a vacuform mask. So what I did is made a sculpture, a mold, and cast it up in solid plaster so they could set it up on a vacuform machine, which is very much like a vacuum cleaner. A very large table with a lot of holes in it. And what they do is they'll set up a sheet of plastic and heat that up till it's very malleable and liquid-like. What they do is they take that plastic, put it over here, turn on the vacuum. That draws it right over the plaster piece. What they do then is pull it off, paint it, and it's very much like a Halloween mask that a lot of children wear on Halloween.
Great. Like a Halloween mask, you hear that? That's some great work.
Well, thank you very much.
Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of our show for today. I really want to thank you, Jeff Farley, everyone, for showing us around your studios.
You're very welcome.
And we'd also like to thank Gabe Bartalos and John Volich for showing us around their studios and showing us how it works when they do all their movie magic. Also, I'd like to remind you to hang in there. If you have any aspirations or any dreams of doing any of this kind of work, just keep at it, and one of these days you might have some of your work being seen by millions of people. So until next time, I'm asking you all to please join us on ZAP, and we'll see if we can have a really great time, all right?